In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to cover an insanely effective strategy that all tattoo artists can use to book more appointments on Instagram. Now, there are 4 pillars to this strategy, and I'm not holding anything back today. I'm giving you all of the goodies. And if every tattoo artist that watches this video does exactly what I tell you to do, it would be really hard to not book more appointments. Even if you did this just a little bit, you're going to be light years ahead of all the other tattoo artists out there who, let's be honest, most tattooers don't really know what they're doing with Instagram. And that's what it takes to stand out in a saturated market. You need to do what everyone else is not doing to stand out and book more appointments. Consider this video a crash course in how to use social media for tattoo artists, but this method and these 4 pillars that I'm going to show you has been tested and proven to work in my full marketing program. And the reason that I'm just giving this away today for free, honestly, is because I believe that if I can't help you book at least one appointment for free, then I honestly don't deserve to ever work with you. And to show you what kind of results tattoo artists are getting from putting this strategy into place, I just want to show you a couple examples so you can see for yourself that this stuff really works. So first we have Kylie, who actually had less than 1,000 followers and was still able to double her monthly income using this Instagram strategy. My man Antbait, he is a sick tattooer from the UK, also more than doubling his income. And I do just want to say, like, we've had tattooers that are in their first year, in their 30th year. Everyone's results are different, all right? I don't guarantee any results. It really matters where you're starting from, how much experience you have in tattooing, and also how much work you put into this. The more work you put into this strategy that I'm going to show you today, the more you're going to get out of it, hands down. Vasa Tattoo, he's actually a tattooer from Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from. We used to tattoo in the same building we had private studios in, doing a little bit over 10 to 12K per month up from 5K. We have Swopey, Blackout Tattoo. He actually, when he first came to me, he was like, Ryan, I'm not sure that this strategy is going to work because I do mostly blackout tattoos. It's not as popular as other styles. Will this help me book more of the type of tattoo I want to do? And the answer is 100%. He was able to go from 3.5, 5K, hitting that 5 to 7K mark. Again, everyone's style, every person's experience is going to be a little bit different. But again, you put the work in, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Be True Tattoo, going from 1,500 to 2,500, all the way up to 3,000 and even hitting over 4K per month. Carl, his story is also really interesting because he had moved across the country. He started basically over again in a whole new area, had to rebuild his clientele. And yeah, he was able to use this to hit 5, 7K, even having an $8,000 month by implementing this Instagram strategy. And because I've gotten comments from people saying like, Ryan, you are photoshopping these testimonials. No, they are real people. You can look them up. But I actually asked Chris Cockrell about his experience implementing this exact Instagram strategy. He's a 20-year tattooer. He did not enjoy making content when he first started out. And I'm telling you, you put this into place, once you start seeing results, making content kind of becomes fun and you're making money doing it. So I wanted you to hear his experience coming from a 20-year tattoo veteran.
My name's Chris. I've been tattooing in San Diego for over 20 years. Before the course, I was totally horrified to make any content or post myself. Even looking at my phone, I had no photos or videos of myself. I'm just super against it. Just my kind of generation, we don't film ourselves. After taking it, I've kind of given up and embraced it and just have fun with it. It's kind of opened up a new area of creativity. Making content has made my clients a lot more familiar with me, and it's made it a lot easier to connect with them and to book appointments from that. I guess in total, over the course of this program, from the strategies I've learned, I've made probably an extra 12 grand on top.
So that's exactly what I found, is that when tattooers use this exact strategy, they actually start to have fun. It actually becomes a whole form of creativity. And he actually sent me this message. He was pretty impressed with the 90-day engagement boost. He was seeing over 900% accounts reached from his content by putting this out there. When you just share yourself, it's like when someone comes to the shop. They don't want to just look at your portfolio and not talk to you and not get to know who you are. And so for anyone out there that is completely against getting in front of the camera, this strategy probably isn't for you, but everyone that does it even a little bit absolutely will see results from it. So I'm going to dive right into this Instagram strategy in just a second. But for anyone that doesn't know me, I know a lot of people follow me on Instagram, but some of you might not know me from a hole in the wall and you're like, what the hell is this Brooklyn tattoo artist talking about marketing and Instagram. So just some of my background, I have been tattooing for over 15 years. I was a full-time professional tattooer in Brooklyn, New York for about 13 years. And I started doing some financial coaching over COVID. That kind of took over my life. And for the past 2 years, I've been doing financial coaching and marketing coaching for tattoo artists. But this is me back in the day working at walk-in shops in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I was just some knucklehead tattoo artist, to be honest. I did not give a fuck about money or business. I just wanted to do cool tattoos. I'll be honest, I was a little bit of a shit show back in the day. I did like to drink a little bit. I occasionally dabbled in the devil's dandruff, if you know what I mean. I am currently 11 years sober, so I, kicked that habit, really got my life together. But I was sick and tired of just working at walk-in shops where I depended on the shop. I didn't like feeling that sense of like, if it isn't for them, I can't make a living. I got into tattooing, honestly. One, I mean, it's the fucking coolest job in the world, but it was this sense of freedom of like, I can learn this skill, I can draw, and if I have my hands and my tools, I can go anywhere and I can provide for myself. I like that autonomy. I like being my own boss. I don't like having to depend on other people. Now, I think we all need a little bit of help from our friends. I think that's great, but I don't want to have to depend on other people. I want to learn the skills myself that I can use to get more business and grow my clientele. After about 8 years of working at walk-in shops and just realizing how dependent I was on that, I worked at this one shop. It was one of the most toxic situations that I'd ever been in. I looked around at the other tattoo artists that were around me. They were older than me, and they weren't really taking control of their lives financially, business-wise. And I wanted more for myself. I wanted to be able to save money, maybe buy a house, start my own business, maybe retire one day and not have to be a hunched over shrimp back scab merchant for the rest of my life until the day I die. If you want a womb to tomb, that's you. But like, I know when I'm 65 years old, probably not going to want to be tattooing every single day just to get by. And it just kind of like hit me like, no one's going to do this for me. No one's going to come and save me. If I want to take control of my business and my future, then I'm going to have to learn finances. I'm going to have to learn how to pay my taxes so I can save up and get a business loan and start a business. And if I have a business, I probably need to know how to market that business. And that's when I started reading books by Seth Godin and Eugene Schwartz. And Story Brand is a really good book on branding. If anyone wants any other resources, hit me up on Instagram. There's a ton of great books out there. And I started implementing it in tattooing. I started practicing what these people teach around marketing. And go figure, like, there's education out there about marketing and it works. Like, people go to college to study marketing and it actually works to grow your business. And I just applied all that to tattooing. And that was what really allowed me to open up my own private studio. So I had a private studio for about 6 years before I opened up a street shop. I had a couple different versions. I was able to earn passive income renting booths out to other tattoo artists. And in 2022, I opened up Lowdown Tattoo, and it's been great. But it's right around that time that I opened that shop that my coaching just really started. I've been working with hundreds of tattooers all around the world. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go check it out. I share tons of free financial resources, marketing resources for tattoo artists. And that's pretty much what my life looks like today. I still tattoo once in a while, but professionally, I help tattoo artists grow their business. All right, let's dive into these 4 pillars. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be optimizing your profile, your Instagram feed, the way you use stories, and your DMs. Those are the 4 pillars of this whole strategy. I'm going to walk you through each one of them so that you know exactly what to do. So I just want you to consider that all Instagram is, it's just a pile of eyeballs, okay? Instagram is a pile of eyeballs. And those eyeballs are just looking for things that make them feel good. That's it. They just want to feel good. They just want serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins. And if your content isn't producing those neurotransmitters, if it isn't hooking them in, then they're just going to keep scrolling. So I've got this giant pile of eyeballs, right? and now they come across your profile. However they come across it, whether a friend refers them to it or it naturally comes up in their feed because the content is good or someone shares it. However they come across the profile, we need to use every bit of real estate on the profile to get them to want to follow you. And the more professional, clean, the more information, the more impressed they are by your profile, the more likely they are to follow you. So we're going to talk about optimizing your profile. Now your content needs to be good, because if it isn't giving them that feeling that they're on the platform for, then they're not going to continue to follow it. And let's be honest, you're not going to get the reach. And a lot of tattooers are complaining about, oh, well, the algorithm changed and it's not showing my work anymore. That's not what happened. That is a complete myth. You can keep believing that if you want to. But what happened was so many new people started to join Instagram over the past 5 years, like millions. It was about 10 million people per month in 2021. And it started to slow down, but the amount of content that is being made has not slowed down. It's actually increased. And so your content is simply competing in a greater giant pool. The quantity and quality of content that is out there is so much better than it used to be. And so that's why your content isn't getting the same reach. And so even if you do 1% better than other tattoo artists out there, you're going to see a huge boost in the amount of clients and followers you get from Instagram. We're going to then talk about retargeting to your current followers in stories, because reels get you reach outside of your profile. Stories are only shown to your actual followers. And I'm going to show you how to create a story sequence that gets them into action to book more appointments, which is ultimately where we want them to go. Is we want everyone to slide into the DMs. And I'm going to talk about actually sliding into other people's DMs and how do we get as many people to start conversations with you, because it's those conversations that turn into appointments. And if you're one of those tattooers that is like no DMs, keep watching. You might reconsider your strategy of not accepting DMs after this video. Maybe you've heard me say this before, but I want you to start thinking about your profile like it's your shop, like it's your storefront, and your followers are like walk-ins. I want you to use every bit of real estate of that storefront to make your profile as attractive as possible, so that anyone that comes across it is like, whoa, like they're a little bit impressed by it. They're very clearly knowing who you are, what you do, and how to work with you, and they get excited about following you. So I'm going to show you how to do exactly that. First of all, how easy is it for people to find you? Because there are people out there with some crazy ass Instagram names. No one knows what Blade Laser 69 is, okay? Like, you have an Instagram name that someone cannot tell that you're a tattoo artist, and so Instagram is now moving heavily into an SEO model, search engine optimization. When people Google tattoo artist in, Idaho, your Instagram profile can come up on Google if you have keywords that people are searching for. So if you don't have the words tattoo and your location in your profile name, in your bio, then people aren't going to follow you. You don't need to be like Idaho tattoo artist, but you want to have at least the word tattoo in your name and somewhere in your profile, at least having your location. Now, can people recognize you? Back in the day, all tattooers, and still, they still just use like a skull or a rose or a close-up image of a drawing or a tattoo. But there's so many out there. Like, you got to think about it from a client's perspective. Like, they're not recognizing that. Like, that's not, they are going to recognize you, your face, and you actually want to build a brand around yourself. That's what works, not just for tattoo artists, but all businesses right now are focusing on like founder-led brands, like the person behind the brand, and you want to consider yourself, you are your own business brand. And so having your face, a recognizable photo of you, is going to help people easily identify your profile. If they want to share it with someone and they're like looking, they're like, wait, I want this tattooer, I can't remember, what is their name? They're not going to remember Blade Laser and then having like a picture of a random skull. They're never going to find you again. So can they recognize you? Are you easy to find? Are you easy to connect with? Again, if you have no DMs in your profile and you're like, email me or just fill out a form, don't get me wrong, you should have a form to fill out, but you want to think about it. If this is a shop and someone just has a question, like, make yourself open and approachable. Say, yeah, shoot me a DM. If you have any questions, just shoot me a DM. It's like answering the phone at your shop. And so if you're just like, no DMs, you're like, my shop doesn't have a phone, don't call me. The only way to contact me is to get off of this platform and fill out a form, it's not personal. And you want to be a little bit more personal, a little bit easier to reach, more approachable. And now in the highlights, you want to give important information. When someone comes to your profile, they might not know how to actually set up an appointment with you. Talk about that. They might not know where your shop is located. So you can make videos, post them in your stories, pin them to the highlights on where you're located, how to find your shop. Maybe you're giving aftercare information, or maybe you're sharing client experiences. When people see other people talking about their experience of working with you, it makes them more attracted, more wanting to work with you. People subconsciously, Seth Godin says this in his book, This is Marketing. He says, people subconsciously ask themselves, do people like me buy things like this? And so when you have highlights pinned with like, what are clients saying? And you have some videos of people talking about working with you, it just makes you that much more approachable. It makes your shop look really good. And then you want them to get to know you, your work, and your business. And you can pin videos or posts or whatever you want, slides, to the top of your profile where people can get to know you. Don't just post your best tattoos. And in fact, you can go to my Instagram profile. In my reels, I pinned a post that is an example of a video that every tattoo artist should make and pin to the top of their profile, which is an introduction video, you talking about yourself, your work, what you like to do, and how they can reach out and get to work with you. So every tattoo artist should have that kind of information on their profile and optimize it. And if you did just that, you'd be light years ahead of so many tattoo artists out there that aren't doing this right now. So that first part of the strategy is really important to optimize your profile, but the next 3 parts of this strategy are probably the most important parts. And now that we have a professional profile, let's talk about content. On average, it takes 3 to 6 months for a new follower to become a buying client. This is a study that Meta did on all businesses, and on average, and now it might even take longer considering that tattoo artists, it's like a big commitment that people are making, right? They might need to follow you for 6 to 12 months. So what's happening during that time that someone's going from follower to client? What needs to happen during that time? You should think of content and really all marketing in general as a transferring of emotion. That's what marketing is. It's not some schmarmy, salesy pitch. It is transferring an emotion, and those emotions produce neurotransmitters. Like I said, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins. And so if your content is not relatable, educational, entertaining, funny, thought-provoking, or inspiring, then your content is not giving people the neurotransmitters that their brains are seeking on this platform. Instagram is basically a drug dealer. People are scrolling, looking to get that hit, that boost. And back in the day, it used to be enough to just post pictures of tattoos, right? The market wasn't as saturated as it is, both with tattoo artists or with content. So sick pictures of tattoos did produce those neurotransmitters for people. Now, there are so many dope tattoo artists out there that, like, I know everyone thinks that you're like a special, unique flower, and I'm sure your work is really amazing, but unless you're at the top, like 0.1 percentile of amazing tattoo artists out there, there's just so much good tattoos to look at, not to mention so much other content that is giving people that serotonin, oxytocin boost they're looking for. And so that's why your content isn't getting the same engagement, the same reach. And so views and engagement will continue to decline if you aren't giving people what they're on the platform, what they're looking for. And so I want to help you with this. And this is how you're going to approach this. Is there are 5 questions that people are subconsciously asking themselves when they're viewing your content. And you want to answer these 5 questions with your content. So the first question, again, this is a subconscious question. They're not actively thinking this, but they're wondering, can I relate to this person? Their vibe, their energy, their interests, their beliefs, their perspectives. And now they might not vibe with you. And if they don't, that's a good thing. You want your marketing to be polarizing, because if you're not actually pushing people away with your vibe, your energy that you're putting out in the content that you're making, if people aren't turned off by it, then people won't be turned on by it. And so you're just sort of like neutral. You're like not really attracting many people, but you're not really pushing too many people away. That's the absolute worst marketing strategy. In fact, the best marketing strategy is to like piss off a whole bunch of people and attract a whole bunch of people that do align with your vibe, your energy, your interests, your beliefs, and perspectives. My content, a lot of people don't like my content, and that's a good thing. Like, if you're not into my vibe, we're probably not meant to work together, and you're probably not going to get much value from my content anyway, so go watch something else. The second question is, can I trust this person? Are they knowledgeable, experienced, confident, and professional? And unless you're showing up on Instagram talking about your work, sharing your knowledge, your experience, showing up confidently and professionally, like, again, your profile is your shop. So if someone walks into your shop and you're just like hunched over in the corner, just tattooing and not really talking to me, making me feel welcomed and comfortable and like you are a knowledgeable professional, then what are the chances of me wanting to actually book an appointment with you? The third question is, does this person make me feel good? That's what they're here for. They want to feel good. Is this person entertaining, funny, and insightful? I think I'm a little bit entertaining, a little bit funny, maybe insightful. I don't know. But that's what you want to give off, the energy in your content. And if you aren't answering that question, if people come to your profile and you're like, this is cool, it's not making me feel good, that's just not the content that they're there for. I'm sorry, but that's not what people are looking for on Instagram. They want to feel good. So, and you don't have to do TikTok dances. Every tattoo artist, I see it in the comments, they're like, I'm a tattooer, I don't want to do stupid TikTok dances. I'm like, you don't have to. I had one tattoo artist that just started sharing content about his cats. Like, he really loved his cats and they became a part of his whole design process. I had another tattoo artist sharing about smoking brisket. That was like something he loved to do, his hobby. I've had tattooers talk about hiking, nature, traveling, whatever weird hobbies that they have. And when you share more of that content, it makes you more personable and people feel good. And they're like, oh, I see more. I'm buying not just the art, but the artist as well. The fourth question is, what will my friends think? So will sharing this content enhance what my friends think of me? Shareable content is one of the fastest ways to grow an account. And so if your vibe is good, if your information is solid, if people feel good, and you're sharing stuff that other people want to share with their friends because everyone's looking for something they can put in their stories that makes them look cool, make content that people want to share. And the fifth and the most important question is this unique? Is this account too similar to other accounts that I already follow? And if someone likes tattoos, they probably follow a lot of tattoo artists already. And if your account isn't offering anything unique and different from those other accounts that they currently follow, then they're probably not going to follow you. So simply by creating content that shares you, your other interests, your passions, your information, your knowledge, your wisdom, your spirit, by sharing content like that, you immediately stand out as being different from the other tattoo artists that are just sharing that Cherry Creek flash rack of tattoos on their feed. There's no person, there's no connection. You immediately have, even if you did this 1%, you'd be so far ahead of any other tattoo artists that are just barely, they're not showing up. And so show up a little bit, it goes a long way. And my one last bit of advice when it comes to making content is, if you want to make good content, you want to feel natural in front of the camera, and you're like finding your groove and you kind of find your style of content that you want to make, you have to make bad content. And that's what everyone is avoiding making. You scroll down on my page, scroll way down to 2020 when I really started making content. It was bad. It wasn't good, but I had to make bad content in order to learn how to make good content. You want to make good tattoos? You want to find your style in tattooing? How do you do that? You first make bad tattoos, and you make a lot of them. You do a lot of bad drawings. You do a lot of drawings, and you find your style. You don't figure it out first and then start making the content. You start making the content, and then you learn as you go. All right, so now that you have an optimized profile and you're just starting to make some content that's reaching people, that's actually getting more engagement, and I promise you, try it out, you'll see it's going to boost your engagement. Now let's talk about stories that actually convert into clients. So first of all, I don't want you to randomly post stories. I want you to be very strategic about it, and I call this strategy a story sequence. And here's how it works. Your first story of the day, and this works really well if you don't have any stories running, your first story is just building interest. It's boosting engagement with that first story, sharing something interesting about you that maybe your followers don't know, or you're writing about something, or there's a poll. You just want to get as much interest and engagement on that first story. Maybe even the second story, something funny, relatable. Again, you're not like selling anything. You're not pushing anything. You're just building that connection and boosting the views on those first stories. Then when you talk about your tattoos, and again, you could ask a question, or you can, say, hey, you interested in this kind of work? You can do a little kind of hover over a flash sheet, maybe build some mystery, some intrigue, and then you hit them with the call to action. And you're like, if you want to get something like this, shoot me a DM me the word flash, and I'll send you over my flash sheet. Boom. This is a very simple strategy, and now you can get very in-depth with it. I have a lot of ways that I'll expand on this strategy, but this is a basic version of it, and even if you do this badly, it works really well. And again, like all techniques, I'll do this, and sometimes it'll flop, but it has a higher chance of actually turning into clients if you do it consistently, maybe once or twice every week. It works. Give it a try. And now that we have all of these things, let's put them all together. So we've got our pile of eyeballs that are coming across your optimized profile that looks dope. The content is actually connecting with people. And if you want to know how much should you post like just tattoos versus you, there's no real perfect method to that. But I do like to take advice from Gary Vaynerchuk. You can follow him on Instagram. He wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, which basically translates into value, 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 ask. Give, ask. You want your content to give people the endorphins, the serotonin, the oxytocin that they're looking for. You want them to feel good. And then every once in a while, like, yeah, if you want to get tattooed, hit me up. But if you're sharing a tattoo and the video is not also offering something interesting, valuable, informative, insightful, thought-provoking, entertaining, and it's just the tattoo, it's probably not going to do well. And so you want your content to give as much value before you ask of your followers to do anything to work with you. Again, we're doing the same similar strategy, a little bit different in the stories. Now it's time to get into the DMs. And all of this is going to get people to, first, you're going to see a lot more inbound DMs, but I invite you to introduce yourself to your followers. Shoot them a message, say, hey, you've got that get to know me post pinned to your profile. So you're kind of already a person and you're showing up and you're just introducing yourself. And I have had tons of clients get appointments just from that one little outreach. So give that a try, especially after you've optimized your profile. And I promise you're going to book more appointments. So there is a fifth part to this strategy that really puts steroids on this whole operation and basically boosts the number of eyeballs that come across your profile that then get nurtured with your content, that then see your stories and ultimately end up in your DMs, right? Once we've optimized our content strategy, then we want to pour as many eyeballs as possible onto our profile. And that's with all other forms of marketing. That's going to be your website, your flyers, your email marketing. And you could run paid ads. While I don't think it's necessary, I want you to just know that paid ads are never a replacement for organic marketing, but they can really enhance organic marketing. I so far haven't really shown people how to use ads. I actually have some plans for another YouTube video, some lessons on how to run paid ads, but do not run paid ads until you've got this whole strategy really dialed in and you're starting to see results. But you could optimize your website, do a local marketing campaign, have an email campaign, make sure you're retargeting your past clients to get more eyeballs and have them share your profile. Ask them and say, hey, you know anyone? Share my profile, share this link with them. That's how you're going to get more eyeballs on your profile. And this strategy is why people are seeing pretty much double their normal income, sometimes more than that, after implementing this. Now, we have tons of proof that this works without running paid ads in any country, on any style of tattoo artist out there. You definitely don't want to run paid ads until you've got your organic marketing down and you're earning thousands more per month from this strategy. And so you now know exactly what to do to get more appointments on Instagram. You have no excuses, but you do have two choices. You can either teach yourself how to do this stuff, which I'll be honest, it's going to take some time. Like, this is not easy. It works, but it's not easy to do on your own. Or if you want to speed up your results and you want to invest in yourself and your business, you can book a one-on-one call with me. So for anyone who's interested in speeding up the results and starting to book thousands more in appointments very quickly, I'm going to share some more information on how to work with me, what that looks like. So for anyone that's not interested in that, maybe go watch some other video. But I do want to say, I just want to be clear that if we do work together, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to make you step outside of your comfort zone, and you're going to understand how to market yourself and book more appointments consistently. So if you're not looking for that, then yeah, go scroll, watch something else. But if you are looking for that, I want to tell you a little bit more about what that looks like. So I run two separate group coaching programs. One's the Artful Marketer, where we help tattoo artists grow, market, get more clients. And the other one's the Artful Dollar, where we help tattooers save consistently, invest, plan for retirement, and all that good stuff. I have one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs. So there's a couple of different ways that I work with people, but I want to tell you about the Artful Marketer program today, just so you know a little bit more about what that looks like, to see if you think that would actually help you out. I spoon feed this stuff to you. I break it down into its most simplest, fundamental way to teach it. And so I show you the exact type of content you should be making. I give you examples, even a reference library, like you have a reference for a tattoo that you're going to do. This is a library of references for the type of content you should be making. We show you how to edit that content. I go over the psychology of the content, different content types. We talked about optimizing your profile. I do critiques on people's profiles. I do a lot of content critiquing, just how you're learning to tattoo. It really helps to get someone with more experience to tell you what you did right, what you can improve on. That's a big part of this program, is just getting a quick feedback loop rather than throwing shit at the wall and wondering why it didn't work. We actually give you the references that you can follow, and then when you take an action, we can help you improve by critiquing and showing you what to do next. Even the Instagram story strategy, we go deep into that strategy to show you the exact calls to action, the ways to boost engagement on your stories so that you're making more sales. And then the DM conversations. I'll say the majority of people in the Artful Marketer are getting most of their clients through DMs, through social media content, and then having the exact template of what to say, how to start the conversation, right? Because a lot of people feel awkward, like, oh, I don't want to feel weird or creepy. Like, it'd be super weird if you were like, do you want to get tattooed? Come get tattooed by me. I actually want to show you how to follow up with people, what to say, how to reach back out to past clients, new followers, so that every day we're constantly creating conversations with cold leads and warm leads, and we're nurturing those relationships to build clients. I don't want to just wait for clients to come to me. I want to nurture and build clients through content and conversations. And so we just give you the exact templates to show you how to do that. And now, marketing in general, I'll say, is 10% strategy. It's 90% mindset. And I've taken a lot of mindset courses. It's probably, in my opinion, the thing that has led to the most success was getting outside my comfort zone, seeing my problems from a new perspective, and realizing that there's a lot that I can do to better my situation. When it comes to marketing, I feel like a lot of tattooers do struggle with like the fear of being seen, the fear of judgment, just like limiting beliefs that are keeping us playing a small game when you know that you are capable of so much more, and it just feels like something, some internal block isn't letting you play full out. That is a mindset problem. And that's why I say that marketing is 10% strategy, 90% mindset. We have a lot of the curriculum is focused on that. Scheduling software, just staying organized around your clients' information, emails, phone numbers, Instagram names, setting up automated email drip campaigns to reach back out to past clients. I give you the exact templates, the exact email templates, everything you need to set it up and dial it in so that it's easy and effortless to book appointments and to keep those people going back into the seat after they've been tattooed by you. Website. Now, either you have a website and you want to ask yourself, how many leads per month are you getting? How many form submissions are you getting per month? If you're not getting as many as you'd like, then it's probably because people aren't actually finding your website, or because your website doesn't have like a smooth user experience, or a combination of both. And so we show you how to make a quick and dirty, easy website and how to get it SEO optimized. We've had people within the first 2 months of the program getting their first client who found them on Google, filled out a submission form, and booked an appointment. And they didn't have to make content. They didn't have to email anyone. They didn't have to reach out. It's like a set up system that drips clients into your business on autopilot. That's the power that a website has. And most tattooers, I think, are sleeping on this. Even if you work at a shop that has a website, you as a tattooer absolutely should have your own individual website. Generating leads, local marketing strategies, core principles of marketing, email marketing, pricing, all of these things balance and build off each other. And so I don't want to just rely on social media. It's one of the most powerful marketing tools out there, but I want to have an omnipresent approach to marketing so that I know on any given day I have people finding me through multiple channels, and I'm not just dependent on the algorithm or social media or word of mouth, right? I have many irons in the fire that are always cooking. And now the way we implement all of this, because this, I know this feels like a lot, is something called the lighthouse game. So as someone who can get pretty distracted and probably has ADHD myself, and most of the clients I work with tell me that they struggle with that, keeping on track, I turned marketing into a game. So I gave daily, weekly, and monthly marketing actions a point system, and I just made it so easy that you just follow daily, weekly, monthly actions. If you earn 100 points per month, it would be so hard to not make more money. And that's what everyone tells me. They're like, the minute I stop playing the lighthouse game, I see a noticeable decrease in bookings. And as soon as I start playing it again, those bookings come up again. So I really just lay out a format, a roadmap for you to follow. You'll never wonder what you should do to book appointments again. I think that's the number one problem that the Artful Marketer solves, is you're never left wondering, how do I get clients? You always know that there's something you can do and you know exactly how to do it. This whole program is taught over 3 months. So it takes some time to build the habits, to put the systems in place. And we have 2 live group coaching calls every week, led by myself and my assistant coach, Chloe. Everyone comes to work with me, but honestly, they stay to work with Chloe. She is a magical creature. She just has such a knowledge base on marketing for tattoo shops. She's owned shops with her partner who's a tattoo artist, and she has been a booking assistant, so she knows like the ops, the back end systems really well. And between the two of us, we've been leading this program now for, like I said, between the Artful Dollar and the Artful Marketer, I think she's been with me for about 2 years. And she's just a phenomenal coach. But before all of that, like I said, I want to make it really easy for anyone watching this today to take the next action to get some support around your marketing. So I do offer a one-off, one-on-one marketing strategy session where you and I are going to look together at your marketing strategy. I'm actually going to take a look beforehand at your Instagram page and any other marketing materials. We're going to look at what's working, what's not working, what's the problem, like what's really the core thing that is keeping you from staying steadily booked out and having a strategy and a habit and a system for your marketing. And then once we identify the problem, we can look at what the solution is. If that's something that you need or want to get more help with, we can talk about what it looks like to work together. If it's something that I can just send you on your way, maybe give you some resources and you can do it on your own, great. I do want to say that this is not for someone that just wants to make a little bit more money. This is for serious professional tattooers with at least 1 year of full-time experience under your belt. We work with 15-year, 20, 30-year veterans, but I really want it to be people that are serious about taking your tattoo career to the next level. So if that feels like that would be helpful to meet with me and talk about your marketing strategy and what's the real solution, then I invite you to schedule a one-on-one marketing strategy session. I do charge a small fee for this. It is a very valuable session. You're going to get a ton out of it, whether we continue to work together or not. but my time and energy and, it's valuable. So we might be raising the price on this pretty soon as well. We've been getting pretty booked out. And I just wanted to give anyone watching this opportunity, so you can scan this or hit the link in the bio to get all the details on the marketing strategy session. And just to share one other person's experience, Bud McPherson actually did the 1.0 version of the Lighthouse game. So this is like over a year ago when we first started teaching marketing education. We were just testing out some of this stuff on tattooers to make sure it worked. And this is his experience over a year ago that I wanted to share with you.
I'm definitely making more money because I'm not wasting my time trying to figure out really how to make more money. This course really gives you a fucking blueprint on how to do that. With the Lighthouse game, you ain't doing it if it ain't working. Bottom line, even if you do it a little bit, you're going to make more. I feel like I'm just so much more able to push the kind of tattooing that I want to do, which never in a million years did I think was going to actually make me more money. I'm a traditional tattooer. That's my jam. And that's all I pump now. And just that alone with the guidance of this course, I'll tell you, honestly, I'm probably making about $4,000 more a month after doing this course.
So, like I've said, it works for any style of tattoo artist, any location. We've had tattooers that just moved to a new city and they're building that clientele. And we've had a lot of people tell me, Ryan, I haven't done it perfectly, but I did some of it and it's showing a lot of results. So if getting structure and continue to support around your marketing is the solution for you, we can talk about that on the call. If it's just like you need some guidance and pointing in the right direction and that's really going to solve it for you, great. We can go that route. Either way, I look forward to chatting with you. And if we don't end up ever hopping on a call or working together, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do really hope that you put this into practice because this stuff works. It's either going to take time, energy, money to get it going, but anyone that does it is absolutely going to see results one way or another. So thank you, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.